Good evening, Norma Cowie here, and we just had almost a major incident. I'm just fiddling with the cat. There we go. I couldn't get my computer to turn on. So my trusting friend Marion told me what to do, and the next thing I was okay. I was really good. So I welcome everybody, and I see I'm just going to put a little sign, my message, as often happens. I forgot to press it, so it doesn't really say what to do if we have new people. Oh, it was such a great afternoon. I was getting a whole lot of things completed and done and figured out after the day hadn't really gone exactly as I wanted it to, but here we are. So I'm just going to say, please, in your issue, problem, and 3 numbers, just between 1 and 22. Yes. There. Nothing's more frightening when you look at a blank screen and you've forgotten what to do because you haven't had that happen for such a long time. And everything you look at doesn't work. And I'm a little smoky too. I don't know what's happened. Hang on a sec. See, often this part there goes, but there, a little bit better. Okay, so here we start. I'm just going to get my book. So I'm not as organized as I usually am, which of course is organized because that's me. And let's see, I've got some already here actually that have come in, but you got welcome, and Karen M, wonderful. I'm settling down because I got really panicky when I couldn't make it turn on or work. Isn't that like life though? Sometimes, and sometimes I think I just work. So I've got a couple of people here, and then I'll come to the comment section. Julie phoned me today. Haven't heard from her for quite a while. So we had quite a chat. So what we've ended up here is 3 numbers, 7, 19, and 21, with the courage to move forward is what the theme is that we're going on. So the 3 numbers here, 7, 19, and 21, really tells me you've got to let go your past. It's like the past is the past is the past. And then you're going to shine and be where you need to be, which is to a large degree accepting what is in balance. I just want to make sure this is, sorry, I'm not as organized as I usually am when I begin. But Julie, it's just basically balancing a new awareness, seeing future, having that courage to move forward in the direction that you want. So here's the mental mind treatment for that. I know there is one power in one essence, and as I speak my word for Julie, I know that there is courage. There is a sense of direction. There is a sense of moving into the absolute of what you're wanting to create and to be. I give thanks in the knowing that as you move forward, the realization of your own power, your own sense of creating and being and have comfort, because it's about balancing all the different attributes, not one or the other, but all of them together. I give thanks in the knowing of this, that as Julie moves forward, that the courage is there. It's like the old saying, step by step, step by step. Just go step by step by step, and it all comes together. I give thanks in the knowing of this by saying, and so it is. Oh, I didn't really, oh no, that was me telling the numbers. Sorry, I'm still a little bit all over the place. I know there is one power in one essence, and I know as I speak my word for Julie, that there isn't a realization of being in command of your life, of being in command of the life, of recognizing that the universal love force has your back at all times. And even when it doesn't look the way maybe that you want, it really is about you creating, knowing your power of creation, knowing the elements of what you have as you bring it into balance and full awareness, so that it goes into the absolute awareness of who you are. I give thanks in the knowing of this, that you have the power, the knowledge, the awareness to move forward in the direction that you choose with ease and with grace. And so I release this thought knowing that it is true, that you have what you need to do to move where you want to move to internally, to create the world that you want. Okay, so now another one from Mango. Mango's doing well, but they're still just needing to lean a little bit. For those of you been with us for a while, you'll remember we've done many treatments for weeks. The numbers I picked was 22, 3, and 17. And it's about remembering your faith. 22 is having faith. Having the faith of love. Love for yourself, love for the world, love for others, as you balance that. Sometimes what happens when you begin to change, you give so much to other people that you forget to look after yourself. And I really feel that this is when we say, remember your faith, remember the direction, you've got to remember to look after you. You got to balance how much do you put out, how much to give in. So in treatment, as I speak my word for Mango, I know that the power of love, which is inside you, that wants to share, that wants to help, that wants to do, the number one person you do this for is self. Because when you have what you're needing, you can give to others easily, but not at your own expense. Not when you're letting the energy go and you're not having anything there to work with. I give thanks in the knowingness that is just a matter of realization that the power of love from the universe is there for you to dispense, but keep some for yourself. That the love you have for yourself is very, very important. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this, knowing that it is true and at one for all things. And for Marianne, who last week asked to manifest a new home, I thought we'd do it again this week, because nothing's like having the thought form build in a bigger way, because everybody that's on there, just put your thoughts into this to be able to create this. I can't remember. It's the same. Did I get them? I think I probably picked new numbers, but let's go look. 10. Yeah, I did. I just used your numbers again. When one comes to manifest new homes, new vehicles, new places, new relationships, there's always change. But the key here with this number 10 that was picked is that being the hub of the wheel, that you are there solid. And 21 is the balance that you have. How much do you put out? How much do you keep back in in relation to yourself? Because both 21 and 17 deal with balancing your energy. When we work with the universe, and we put out what it is we want, when we ask for our goals of what we're wanting to create, we fire with our love of knowingness, then we let it go. Because in letting it go, that's the balancing part. You do your job, then you let it go, because then we have no control over how the universe works. But I know from experience, many times it's worked so well for me. And so it's about here. As I move into the treatment, I know as I speak my word for Marianne, that I just feel needing to relax and let go and allow that loving universe to do its magic. And as it brings up its magic, it's not matter where it comes from and how it shows up, it's to know that it will when it's ready to come in. It's like a massive jigsaw puzzle, and in your jigsaw puzzle, there's holes. And so we need the wonderful, loving essence to fill those holes so that the home manifests into physical reality. I give thanks in knowing that the physical reality is there for the love, the light, the beingness. And for this, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Now, the next, before I go to the column over there, is Kayla phoned me. Now, I've got to get this right because sometimes I pronounce things a little different. And I think this is a Cairo cup. So there's something that she requires and needs. Kayla had an accident. She's not been well. She needs this Cairo cup to help deal with the pain. I'm taking a breath. She needs the doors to open so that the availability of that cup becomes available to her. Well, I think it was her leg. And in knowing that, I really ask that every person comes in and thinks about this, that these doors open so Kayla can have less pain, especially in light of she's moving closer to having her surgery date. Okay. I know there is one power and one essence, whatever name you give it. For me, I know it is absolute loving vibration. And that vibration loves us, every one of us, 100%. It's a matter of allowing the love to work its magic, if I can use that word. And so as Kayla has a need, so her pain can go away by this little instrument that she needs for her leg, may the blocks just be reduced so that the payment for this helping instrument, it's not, well, I don't know if it's an instrument, but this helping knee cup for her leg, for her pain, so that it reduces. So what we've got here is a request for the doors to open so that she may get one of these things to take the pain away. Now, what I did when I talked to her, I said, what numbers have you got? She got 21, 3, and 12, which all come down to 3. 3 is the love vibration, but you need more than the love vibration. You need some power. And the 21 is the balance of that. The 3 is the projection. And the 12 is the acceptance that it's done, that it will be done. It's there because you're lacking power in here. You got all this love, but where's the power? So how do we take this love and make it powerful is by recognizing, that love, whatever you want to call it, I call it love force. Some people call it God. Some people call it something else. That this love force needs to be applied, not with a hope, not with a prayer, but with power. It's like putting your hand up in the middle of a crowd of 100 people saying, me, I need this now. I need this to come into my life. I want this to come in. Not only need, a lot of people when they're training in spiritually, you don't need anything, but you want it. So because there is a need, and therefore you stand strong, because that's what I sense here, is that you've got all the love, but no power. So it's like, put some power in there and allow the gates of, allow the gates of heaven to open up and bring, because you want it. That's it. Bring it on, as they say. Bring it on. I give thanks in the knowingness. I give thanks in the knowingness of this one power and one that loves us all, so that we can speak our word and have the answers delivered because we have the power to create. We have the power to balance, and we can be appreciative right to the very core of our bones, because we recognize that the power of action, the power of love can move mountains, but how does it do it? With power. I give thanks in the knowingness for Kayla that there is this element of power now pouring in to open the pathway for this Karo cup to come into her world with ease, with grace, the way that it will work for her. And for this knowingness, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. Ashika, hello, love. How are you today? Let me have a look what we've got here. Just reminding everybody that in the meantime, Marion is working on the Tibetan bow, which really makes my life much easier this end. She's you want me to choose? She says, hey, you can choose the numbers. Healing for my lower back and pelvis. Is it getting better? I mean, like, all these little things help when you usually write that in there. You want me to put in 3 numbers. I'm going to add 22, 16, and 12. Okay. So let's have a look what 22 is having faith. It's like every day you get up and give thanks for your lower back and it was your lower back and your pelvis, right? So it's all the whole area there. You give every day when you get up, you give thanks, because it's about balance. A lot of balance in here. You give thanks for strength, for healing, for power. That comes in, because when you overdo things, when you get caught up emotionally, there's a tendency for that, because you got a weak spot, the pain to increase, because it's there. That's your weak spot right now. And part of that is to accept that. So it's like having and creating a sense of direction for what you're wanting in that lower back pelvic area, so it's not crashing on you. But I think it's because you've got to have faith, a knowingness. Not only is what I call about the universal love force working for you physically, but emotionally. Our bodies run on the emotions. We are comprised, as you've heard me say often, of 2 parts. Is that we've got the mental and we got the emotions, and they need to be combined. And that's the hardest point for many of us, because we live in this emotional planet that no one wants to really talk about too much. Like this, yes, we got to have our mental in a line, but it's the emotions that does the driving. Love is strong if you recognize that. So it's like, not drive yourself into issues. Don't get upset. Allow it to go by. It's just information. And I say you wrote down the bottom, it's getting better. Yes, it will. And you just keep on with that, knowing that you have faith to accept and bring into balance your world, and not get upset when things don't just match what you want. In other words, just be easier. So let's see what mental mind treatment does with that. Breath. I know there is one power, and I know there is one essence, as I speak my word for Ashika in relation to herself, but also into her lower back and pelvis area. I know that there is a searching inside, a searching for peace, for love, and for acceptance. Therefore, this is about accepting yourself. If you think about it, the pelvis is all about movement. So it's not taking on what other people say, think, or project to you, but rather what I call resting in the love of the vibration of the one force and one power that loves you beyond measure. Excuse me here. Things happen in life. Some of them pluses, some of them minuses. And each time it's how we deal with that. We don't say ignore it. We don't say put your head in the sand and let it go by. It's about recognizing how much energy do we give it. Do we give it a lot? Or do we recognize that we've got to process it and let it go? Your faith is growing, number one. But things still happen. Things are said, things happen, you get upset. Number two, accept. Just accept. Well, that hurt, that felt bad, that whatever, but remember, no matter what, you are loved 100% by the love power. So it's like breathe out what you don't want, rest in the support in your back. That's what all people don't do. And some of the other work I do, it's like I work with that, is to be able to rest in that power that's there. I give thanks in knowing that Ashika is moving forward, growing, and now that next little step, not getting upset by what's done or said, but staying firm, recognizing the love power is there. And I give thanks as I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. That's very good. Hang on a minute. I'm still organizing myself. Okay. So now we go to Karen M. She's got 3 numbers for me, which is great. 13, 9, and 1. Well, as I know, you know the symbols really well. We've got death, the hermit, and everything is possible. Doesn't say too much else there. The one thing I like about the death card means we're moving beyond what's there. We're moving forward. Yes, there's been, in the picture that they have, there's been a battle. And now we're transcending that, like death is the end, right? But the end of A, but not necessarily B or C, because we're transcending into the next level, to the next vibration. And 9 says the answer lies within you. And 1 is everything is possible. So it's like there's you, and I almost feel like it's a decision. You can move forward by listening to yourself and knowing this is what I want, this is where I'm going, etc., because it will open up to you because everything is possible. It's not about, oh, I can't do it or it shouldn't be done. I just feel that, I've got religious things coming in. You know, there's a lot of people that when they sing and pray in certain churches, they raise their hands up and then look up and they kind of invite the Holy Spirit in. And that's the picture I get here. It's kind of like allow your energy to flow out into the world. You know, you don't have to be singing hallelujah or anything like that. You just have to know that it is there and aid you, support you. It shows the way because you've got the connection. That number 9 is strong. You've got that connection. So now newness is coming. Allow it to activate. I love that. Okay, Karen. I know there is one power in one essence, and in the knowingness, I know that love is supreme. I know that we can celebrate love. We can enjoy it in so many different ways. We can see it in action all around us in our lives. And I give thanks in knowing that Karen is on the precipice of making a big step. Now, there's no Fool number here, but it feels to me like the Fool who steps off. Now, I know you live high in an apartment building. You're not going to step off there, but you can fly into what you want to create. Physically, you leave your body on the veranda, on the, what do you call it, patio there. But everything is opening up for you. but you're going to have to step through it. You have to step out of where you are. You're going to need to listen to yourself because you know, and you're going to know that the heavens are opening because I saw it and being delivered. There's a saying, God is good. God is good. Good for Karen. Good for everything. I give thanks in knowing this, that Karen just needs to just keep moving, keep knowing and listening to herself. I give thanks as I want to hear all the wonderful things that are waiting as you step forward through whatever you're going through now, because it's temporary. And I release this thought knowing that it is true, it is done and been. And so we say, and so it is. Kayla says, in here too as well. Much love and blessings to all. Julie says, thank you, Norma. Karen B says, good evening, Norma. Love and blessings to everybody. And then says, special blessings for sweet Kayla. Yes, we're coming as a group to recognize that. And Ishika says, is getting better. I know you're getting better. And I like some of the things that are being said too. Kayla says, thank you, Norma. I see the chiro cuff now easily manifesting and makes a difference to my pain and inflammation. Karen B says, may I please have a treatment for physical healing, hands, and bruise and a bruised rib. Right. So, okay. 21, 12, and 3. 21 again is about balancing, and 12 is balance, acceptance. Both of these numbers, a 3 is like Kayla's numbers. They're all threes, really, but different aspects of them. 21. There's only 22 symbols in the higher arcana. So it's the second to last, but what does it say? That you are in balance in order to be able to work forward in 22 with faith. So it leads into faith. But 21 also comes to a 3, which is the Empress, love. We're doing a love night tonight, obviously. 12 is acceptance. Very important in any kind of working that you're doing in your life is accepting what is, because you cannot change it until you accept what is. When you it's like me accepting my computer wasn't going to go on tonight. What do? I phone Marianne because I need a solution. Of course, she gives it to me, which is wonderful. And a lot of that was because I just got the computer reorganized and then I couldn't find things. And so, yeah, I probably got all yucked up or whatever. But so anyway, 12, acceptance of what is. And 3 is the Empress, which is just love. So, okay, what we're doing here is love, love, love. But love without action has no result. Feels nice, works nice, gives us harmony, gives us compassion. I've been working on compassion for the last while, and it's like giving us compassion for ourselves and others. But we need action. We need the doingness. Otherwise, we're living in a nice little bubble where everything is nice. Okay, and this is about your hands. So I have to switch into something here. What is being done for your hands? Besides, I kind of want to move out. When I do healings and stuff like that, sometimes what we do is, and I don't know if you're doing this, is pulling out, and I'm a great believer in putting things into a bucket, then putting love in it and sending it off to the sun to be converted to clear light energy. In other words, use what's there, which is the sun, boom, lots of things. Is it your left hand? Because that's the one I want to pull the stuff out of. I want to start kind of here on the arm too, which may not be visible. And it's like to pull through. Now, somewhere back in your past, Karen, You may have heard that, or someone heard it, or you did something in here. It's a little above. I know I broke, on my other hand, I broke the wrist of it, but this is above that. If you can, if I'm just trying to say about, not quite on it, about there. I've got an interruption in the energy there. But the right foot, yeah, okay. I want you to go to your left hand, and I want you just to run your hand down and see if it feels different. It could be on your right. I sometimes can twist things, I agree. But it's like there's a block here. There's a block. It could be something, somebody grabbed you too tightly, and we just need to clear that block on that hand, and maybe on this one too. I just don't feel it on this one. Everyone seems to be moving. So anyway, what can you do? This is all about love, but also with love being knowing it's the biggest healer that there is, for sure. So what do? You may do this, but what I've done for years is you create a ball in your hands. You can't see it, but you just build up the energy in your hands, kind of, making it bigger as well. Then you need a little bit of magnetizing in it. So you're going to, if it's in your, especially if your right hand, you're saying, you're going to pull that. You can use the other hand, but I still want to go to the left hand. I don't know why I'm going to the left hand today. Maybe I'm back to front. That can happen. But so I'm going to use the left hand. And then you can pull out into an imaginary container all the stuff that's in your right that I'm working on the left. So again, use what I said up here. So pull that hand. And if it's the middle fingers, again, I'm going to do one more thing. What color do you see this love? What is your color? Love is in everything. But what color do you like to work with? Start up at your elbow, start at your shoulder. Make it up like all the way through, and it's like a grading. That's what I've done. So my arm actually is getting better and better, but it's like grading out any blockages that are there so that you can move that. The other thing is, you're probably aware of right in the middle of your hand. You'll notice my left hand goes up too again. Right in the middle of the hand is a very important point that a lot of people use that. I forget what it actually is, but I know it's a balancing point. So that too also, because when these three numbers, you've got love, but we need some energy. So we need some power there. Okay, so then we go into treatment. It's enough of me going on. I know there is one power. I know the essence of the power comes in and through, lives and breathes with us. And I know that when our bodies, whether it's our hands, our feet, our legs, our shoulders, or whatever hurts, that sometimes it's hard to imagine that it's full of the lovingness that is there. So we imagine, and it becomes real. I give thanks in knowing that for Karen B, that there is able to, what blocks all the love that she feels and applies, whatever color she uses, is that she moves them out through the ends of her fingers into whatever, drops of love off to the sun to be converted to clear, light, loving energy. That energy that is obstructing, that creates the pain, both you and anybody else who has pain, whether it be emotional or physical or spiritual, you send it with love away to be transformed to clear, light, loving energy. All energy can be transformed. And that's what love does. So when you send love, like and often to the sun, like I've done for years and years and years, and it gets converted into love, you have more love come in. And that's when things leave and change because you've made space for the new energy. It's about making space for new energy. I give thanks in the knowingness that Karen's both hands working with light and love are going to be transformed because there's power with love, with power. Many of you in here have physical things, emotional things. And yes, we can use love, but we've got to have some power as well. We can love, we can have compassion, we can have understanding, but we also need a sense of the power of energy. There's energy around us that gives us the power to be able to move that love, to move that awareness in a way that brings healing, satisfaction, and a true essence of being at one with it all. Well, it looks like that's all we're having tonight. That's a small, which is great things I messed up the beginning. No, I'm here. If you need to email me during the week or something, it's fairly quiet in my world right at the moment. Don't be shy. Let me know. In the meantime, what's going on? Wednesday, I'm going to speak about some reincarnational things. I think that's what's brewing anyway. And Sunday, I'm not sure what I'm going to speak on Sunday or talk about. It won't be big, but I'll talk about something. It comes up. I really enjoyed this last Sunday because it kind of everything came in together quite well. And also my little Are You Aware, where I'm taking through how the thought processes of the tarot into just maybe, I think I've been running about 8 minutes, maybe 8 to 10 minutes, little talks about the thinking, trying to get the awareness of how the thought is, and then we'll move on from there. I won't be quite completed with the ones sometime during the week. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being you. And thank you just for being who you are. Much love. And I'll be back next Monday. Thanks a lot. Bye now. Thanks, Karen B. And thank you, Marion. I'm just saying these last things. Bye.